Hello, welcome back. We are going to do another weekly reset. I call it that because it can be very easy to like prep and do all that, and then once that food's gone, you get off track because you haven't re-prepped. So it's like every week, resetting your intentions, replanning your meals, getting all that stuff done. So this is a weekly reset. Sorry if you can hear the laundry. My mom is coming in town tonight and I have to pick up my husband from his work trip, which is gonna take 2.5 hours. And I procrastinated, so I have so much stuff to do now before all that. So I'm getting laundry done, but I wanted to go over the menu before we went to the grocery store. We are going to do cordon bleu chicken. I will show you when I get the groceries what that is. And I'm gonna do that bonza mac and cheese pasta and veggies. I will look at the grocery store to see what looks good. We did not do the Greek chicken because I did a terrible job last week. So we're gonna have that. We're gonna do chicken shawarma. I have pita left over in the freezer. We'll do a jasmine rice and some zucchini and squash. Then we'll have a day of leftovers, or my husband has a frozen pizza. Then we have a box of stroganoff. I will share that with you at the end of the haul. And then we're gonna redo tacos and elote because it was so delicious from Easter. And since my mom's coming, we wanna do something special, kind of like a Mother's Day. So if you have not seen my Taco Tuesday video, go check that out. That has all the recipes that we're gonna be doing. And then another night of leftovers. We are gonna make some muffins. I have a short on that French toast coming up soon. It has candied pecans. It is delicious. We're gonna make our own Tyson strips, you know, like the blackened and all that. We're gonna do our own. Also didn't do the meatloaves last week and have all the stuff for it. And my husband's off for 3 days, so we're gonna do it for one of the lunches he's off. Then we always have fruit and vegetables to snack on, plus different kind of bars. And those are the things we're gonna be prepping soon. I will probably not prep most of this stuff today because I'm cleaning the house and stuff. I have already dusted most of the house, but I still need to do the floors as well as like put the sheets on that are in the dryer right now. Stuff like that. Not really that much, but I am gonna see if I can get some mint from the store, and I wanna put, my mom gave me this, what's she called, Christmas cactus? She gave me this like 6 months ago. I never changed it out of the foil thing it came in because I kill plants on accident. I'm not good at it, it's not my thing. Love plants, terrible at them. So my husband's been taking care of it and it's been living. So, but I wanna get a pot. Now that it has not died, I wanna actually get it a pot and put it on our kitchen table. And yeah, I gotta get to the grocery store, but first I'm gonna do an iced coffee so I have the energy to go. We got our 5-minute mom makeup and scrunchie because we don't have time to give an ish about what we look like today, okay? Presentable and not splotchy. That's what I'm going for. Gotta let the... All right, let's go make the iced coffee. All right, a little cup of ice. I have not been using this kind of creamer in forever. I've been doing like a dairy-free milk and then adding my own sugar-free sweetener. But I just felt like it. I saw it after having that silk. I'm like, I really like the easiness of just pouring one thing in there from time to time. So, and my mom's coming and we like to do decaf coffee in the evenings. And so having a 0 sugar option, we like probably about 2 tablespoons. That's all there is to it. I have been out of collagen for about 3 days and I miss it so much. It really does help like fill up your stomach and get that protein. Like, I don't like to eat in the morning just because I don't want to get ready. I don't want to cook, all those things. And so having that protein, it's like it gets something in your stomach, so you're not gonna have a binge later, but it's like 0 effort. You're not cooking an egg or anything like that. So I'm gonna put the doggo up in his crate and leave, like for real. I gotta go. Grocery haul time. This is mainly for when my husband says, what on earth did you spend all that money on? This is my evidence, so I love you, honey. We got our cold stuff. Cottage cheese is something my daughter actually will eat that, you know, has protein. And we need sour cream for a recipe. My smoothies. My daughter is literally surviving off of cereal pretty much at this point, so she needs milk. And then milk for me. And then I found this lactose-free creamer, so I want to try that. That sounds good. And then she likes these little yogurts as well. And my store finally had those, which are awesome. I got mint to plant because we like to have mint juleps in the summertime. So I'm gonna put those in a pot outside. Got some flowers for my mom's Mother's Day. A pot for that cactus thing. And then we got a bunch of produce. We're gonna make, obviously, I already said the tacos, so we need limes for that, but we're also gonna make homemade margaritas, cilantro, zucchini, and squash for the shawarma. We're gonna make homemade pico de gallo, guacamole, and a roasted tomatillo salsa, so we have all that stuff. I've never had tahini on watermelon, so I think that'd be a good dessert to have with our tacos. And then my daughter ate all the grapes last time. I was so proud of her. So I got more grapes for her. Then we have snack stuff. We love this on popcorn. And I saw today that they had this one. And so I thought that would be a nice treat because sometimes I want sweet and my husband wants salty. And so we can just do one bag of popcorn and we both be happy. These are all the snacks for my daughter and us. These are all the snacks. School is going to be over before she's through with all these. So this stuff, it's when she's in school, stuff that's quick that I can throw in her backpack because she has a snack break is great. But in the summertime, like she doesn't need something like that. She can have the yogurt and things like that. So I don't plan on buying any more snacks over the next 4 weeks. I love Luna bars, they're gluten-free, as well as Rice Krispies. Her and my husband love Pop-Tarts and peanut butter crackers. And then my daughter is obsessed with these. If you have an H-E-B, their actual brand is awesome. Can you see I'm shaky? I need to eat. I am warming up my food right now. And then this is stuff, oh, and then that's almonds, my snacking. This is stuff for dinners. I'm gonna have Mongolian style, I'm gonna ground up a chicken breast and do it that way for my lunches. I had that one last time and it was good. And then this time they had a vegan one as well, so I wouldn't have to take a lactose pill. So I'm gonna try that. Got rice, extra taco meat that we have left over. We can make a bowl with the Spanish style rice and the Southwest salad. And then if I'm having anything like that, I love this stuff. And then, are these new? Have these always been a thing? My daughter loves the chicken ones, but I feel like creamy chicken would be even better. So I don't know if I've just never seen them or if they're new. Then we have the barbacoa and a big thing of chicken. Almost done. We have the collagen for coffee, decaf coffee, because sometimes I like to have it at night. My husband's little drink mixes. He likes the peach tea. Got a bunch of chips, mainly because my mom's coming and my husband's gonna be off work for several days. So it's a really great snacking option. Never had that. He loves this. And then we're gonna try the bean dip for him. My daughter asked for pretzels. We're making fresh guacamole, so you have to have that. And my daughter asked for these, which I feel like probably just wasted money on it. It's probably gonna be way too hot, but I got it for her anyway. I'm gonna not do the mini meatloafs this week and actually do hamburgers instead, because I found these brioche gluten-free buns, which look delicious. And then I got naan for them to have with the shawarma and street tacos for the tacos, obviously. And then I'm gonna remake the French toast. I made them last week. You haven't seen it yet. But you can basically batch prep your French toast. I make it stuffed French toast, batch prep it, throw it in the freezer, and then air fry it when we're ready to eat it. It is delicious. I have a short coming soon. We're going to put the white onion, the poblano, and some jalapenos as a base, and then put the beef cheek on top and smoke it in this. We got some beer to have with our tacos. obviously laundry detergent, it's very important, dog food, toilet paper, Cascade, and my daughter is young enough, or my daughter's getting to that age where she has to really start washing her face and stuff, and you know, hormones. Yes, it's already starting at 9. It's terrible. All right. I also got these, but I already threw them in the freezer. It took me forever to get home because there was a wreck. I'm gonna try those after I eat lunch right now because I'm shaking and I'm hungry. So I'll let you know how those are, and then I'll put up everything. This is why meal prepping and having stuff already ready is amazing, because I would have just completely ripped open one of those bag of chips, and that's what would have happened. Okay, spoiler alert. I did eat the chips, but I ate 1 serving after lunch instead of half the bag like I would have done in the past. Because my lunch was pretty much 4 ounces of beef with a bunch of cauliflower. So I need a little something else. So if you have an HEB, these baked, I don't know if you can see, oh yeah, baked cheese flavored snacks. That's legit. That was really good. I'm going to put up the groceries, and then I'm going to try one of those chocolate things because I've had nowhere near enough calories so far, so I need to make sure I focus on that. And I need to put up the laundry, and I need to change the sheets, I need to vacuum, I need to plant that plant. Got a lot to do, and I have like 2 hours to do it in, so I should probably stop talking to you. All right. It's gonna be about right here. It's all right. The zucchini is the first ingredient, which I like. It does taste chocolatey, which I like, but it kind of tastes like chocolate with like vegetable water, if that makes sense. So not my favorite. I think if you put like a whipped cream or Ready Whip or something like that on them, they'd be a little better. But they're okay. I'm not gonna say you need to go buy them, but they're all right. Also, here are the cordon bleu I was telling you about on meal plan. I'm doing this one because it's gluten-free, but 2 of these are like $5 or $6. So that's expensive. I bought a box of them for about $10, and they had like 6 of them in there. In the past I had bought it. So I have a couple of those left. So that's what my husband and daughter are gonna be eating, the cheaper non-gluten-free brand, because they don't need gluten-free, and I'm gonna be eating this one. So this is the cordon bleu I was referencing in my menu plan, and this is the stroganoff. So you literally just add beef, and this is so easy to do. See, 1 cup is only 480 calories and 35 grams of protein, and then you add a really good, like, hefty portion of vegetables on the side, and it's really not that bad. Do I recommend getting a whole bunch of box food and eating this every day? No, obviously not. People have real lives, and these convenience foods can be a really helpful way for someone to stay on track, and they're really not that scary. They're really not. That's my 2 cents on that. We just got back from a run, and we are going to do those hamburgers that I'm replacing the meatloaves with. And last week I bought asparagus, and I showed how to keep them from going bad. It has been a full 8 days since I bought these. Look at them. Proof. I did have to replace the water probably 3 times. So you could put more water in, but as they absorb the water, you need to keep refilling it. And as long as you do that, your asparagus will last. I'm gonna do a video on how to air fry some vegetables, and I will show how to air fry these asparagus in that video. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. All right, lighting's terrible. I look terrible. It's all fine. Normally, because I have to be gluten-free, I will just throw whatever hamburger patty he makes into a salad and make like a hamburger salad. And I will share a link below. I've already done that recipe with like a special sauce dressing, which is really good. But since I found these brioche buns that were gluten-free, I could not resist. So I'm gonna actually try it, because sometimes you get lofty goals, but they don't ever actually hit the mark. Thank you so much. That's good. And it has a lot of fiber in it. So that'll definitely be on our rotation. And I'll actually have hamburgers now, maybe with a side salad. So this is delicious. Keep your eye open for that air fried vegetable video. And I'm gonna go eat this now, in case you could find them and you're interested. The mint planted. We have moved, let's see, 7 times with this giant pot. And we have a blue one too. 7 times with that pot. It's a good trusty pot. And then a neighbor gave us an agave plant that was like on its last leg. So we've planted that to see if we can get a big old agave plant. And ignore all the weeds. We've pulled several times. They just keep growing. And we're renting, and they had this thing on top of all this stuff instead of underneath the mulch, and we just don't care enough to change it. Then my daughter had a like watermelon seed planted from school, so it's like one of those containers that you can actually plant the whole container. So we'll see if we get a watermelon plant. My daughter would be super excited. So that's what we're looking with. It's supposed to rain a lot tonight, so we gave everything this, a little watering, but not anything crazy to pop up. With all of his balls, like, how many do you need outside? Huh? What is it? What is it? Good morning. We are gonna make some chickpea almond butter muffins today. It's the morning. I'm not putting on makeup for this. So let's go ahead and make those. This is gonna make about 15 or 16 muffins. So I'm not gonna spray the whole pan. I'm gonna not spray this part. Because if you spray this and then bake it, it's gonna be hard to clean it out. Personal experience there. All right, so I have 16 of them sprayed with coconut oil, and I have my oven preheating at 350, and then we're gonna add all this to the blender. I'm gonna drain and rinse my chickpeas, add half a cup of almond butter, a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, a scoop of collagen, then I have salt, baking soda, and baking powder. And then we're gonna add some. I'm out of my actual real vanilla, so we're just gonna make that work, and then we're gonna bake it. It's that simple. Just a word to the wise, these do not make good large muffins, only do the mini. The texture gets really off when you do the large ones, but as a little mini form, I normally eat 3 to 4 of them as a snack or breakfast or whatever, and I really, really like them. You can't taste the chickpea, it tastes more just, I don't know, more almond butter. You have to try them. They're hard to describe. I'm gonna throw all this stuff into my blender. And as always, I will have that recipe linked down below or written out down below. I have adjusted this from, if you've ever heard of Tone It Up, I bought their like paid membership forever ago. And this is one of their recipes I really, really liked, but I did adapt it a little bit to add some extra protein and cut down like on maple syrup and stuff like that. So it is a little different than what their recipe is, but that was the inspiration behind it. So I will link their website, and then I'll link the recipe I actually am using today. Apparently my spring is broken, which is why I'm having troubles. These are gonna go into the oven for 18 to 20 minutes. This is the first time I've used the blender. I normally use a food processor, and I will say I like the food processor much better. I feel like it does a better job blending. I'm gonna get my timer a second. Okay, I feel like it does a better job blending, but then at the same time, at the end, you can take the blade out and it makes it easier to get all the scraps on the bottom of the blender or food processor. Where this, I was having to fight the blade of the blender to scoop it. Also, if your spring isn't broken in your small scoop, you'll have an easier time than me. Apparently mine broke when we moved. I didn't know it, I haven't used it since we moved. So that's why I had to then get like a small spatula to scrape out my spoon. But normally you just scoop it and then the spring clears out the bottom of the spoon and you don't have to worry about it. It's just scoop, 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 and it's a lot faster than what I had to do here today. But that just shows you if you don't have that spoon, you can still do it. All right, they're not all perfect, but you can still eat it. The ones that look the worst are the ones that you eat first. Here is the information on like calories and protein and all that. They are a little like higher in calories and fat, which makes them actually really satiating. So I did them individually, like each muffin is one. So I did 3 servings, which is 3 muffins. And it does tide me over. Having that healthy fat is just, does the stomach good, in my opinion, and like what works for me. So if you're looking for something where like you don't have time to sit down and eat a giant meal, but you want something quick that's gonna be satisfying, these are a really go-to recipe for me. Dinner. That is the Greek chicken. I will leave the recipe below. I had originally posted it for last week, but you know, things happened. So we're having it this week. I think it's best if you actually cook it over the grill. I had it marinating in a Greek yogurt little combination that I added a bunch of garlic to. That's the only thing that I did differently from the recipe. Then I threw it in the freezer and then pulled it out the night before you're gonna use it. So that's 5 ounces of chicken. Got about a ½ cup of the bonza mac and cheese and broccoli. Dinner. Yum. Here are the stats. And as always, water. Must try. Must try on the chicken.
Oh, it's very good. Yeah, use the grill though. Don't do it any other way. Unless it's cold and raining outside, then use the oven.
Okay, we're gonna do our last recipe of the video, and we are making our own Tyson chicken strips. You know those ones that are blackened, or like the garlic, herb, and pepper that don't have any breading on them? We're gonna make our own. It's so simple. You need chicken, any kind of seasoning you like. We're gonna have oil spray, and then you need something that you can put in the freezer to flash freeze, and then a bag to throw them in once they're flash frozen. It's really simple. And then we're gonna have delicious chicken that tastes exactly how we want it to, because sometimes that blackened one is a little spicy. So I don't have to worry about that if I handle the spice level myself. So we're gonna get into it. And if you are from the Facebook group, the Hot Tots United, whatever Facebook group, leave me a comment below. Hi, I'm Amber. I'm so happy that you're here. This has been, when I'm filming this, we are on what's Wednesday? So day 4 of our little May challenge. And I'm doing good, surprisingly. Yesterday was rough, but I made it. So I got all my checks. So, like I said, leave me a comment below and say hello and introduce yourself, and I'll see you on that group. Okay, we're taking a detour on our frozen chicken. First, I'm going to throw this together. If you have an ATV, this is like the Southwest chopped salad, but it's honestly more like a coleslaw. It has a whole bunch of cabbage and stuff in here. And I think I'd like it more if I actually marinated these pieces in the dressing and I actually let it sit in the fridge for, you know, a little bit. So I'm gonna do this before making my chicken so it's ready to go when I'm ready to go. It comes with pumpkin seeds and tortilla strips. I'm gonna leave those out until I'm actually ready to eat it. But this is just an idea for you because a lot of times I'll have those chicken strips with a salad. And a lot of these salads lately, they're coming with a bunch of cabbage and kale, which is not my favorite. But I'm learning to like it. So I think this will be helpful. I might have used too much of that dressing when my mom was here on our servings. Let's see. Oh, it's looking good. So I'm gonna cover this and pop this in the refrigerator for, I don't know, a couple hours while I am gonna do my chicken. Okay, so first, you can do this by getting regular chicken. Walmart had some pre-sliced chicken already on sale because it was gonna go bad. So I just bought it and threw it in the freezer for whenever I can make this video. So I'm starting with mine pre-sliced, but I left some like together so you can see they just sliced it about 1/2 inch thick. So just take a chicken breast, slice it in 1/2 inch increments, and then you have sliced chicken breast. We have our pan on medium and sprayed with whatever kind of oil you like. The great thing about these, oh my gosh, my camera is like drooping. All right, well, trying to do everything one-handed because I have chicken on one hand. Okay. So now that we have your chicken cut, we have our pan on medium with spray in the pan. I'm gonna do 2 different kinds. I'm gonna do one with lemon pepper and then one with blackening seasoning. Now the best part about doing it yourself is you can do anything you want. You could do taco flavored and then have like fajita bowls. You can do, you know, Italian flavored and do with like the bird's eye marinara pasta that's made with veggies. All of those are good options, and you have all the options because you're in control of it. Get these little pieces off. So I'm gonna do is season both sides. You can do it as liberally or not. This is the blackened, so I'm going a little lighter just because I don't want to light myself up, if you know what I mean. All you're gonna do is cook it on that side for a couple minutes, flip it over and cook it till it's done. While that's cooking, we're gonna go ahead and season our lemon pepper. And because this isn't spicy, I don't have to worry about burning my mouth. So I'm gonna give this a little more liberal coating. And then if you're wondering with whatever seasoning you pick, if you need to add salt and pepper to your chicken, always just look at the actual ingredient list. You can't see it there. But my chicken, or this seasoning, salt and pepper are the first 2 ingredients. I'm not gonna add it. Now, if you're doing Italian seasoning, which has no salt, you'd wanna add salt to your chicken. We're gonna let these hang out while our other chicken is cooking. These have been cooking for about 2 minutes, so I'm gonna add more spray on top and then I'm gonna flip them over. I just realized my camera was not recording that whole second batch. But you do it the same as the first. So we have our blackened here, the reddish one, and then our lemon pepper here, which is the yellowy one. You're gonna place it on the saute pan with some oil in the pan, or I just used this avocado spray. And then you're gonna cook it. It only took about 2 minutes. Then you're gonna spray that and then flip it again. That way there's oil on the one that you're flipping over. You're gonna cook it an additional 2 minutes. I probed it with my meat thermometer and it said 165. I know I can pull it off and be safe. I put it on a paper towel lined plate. Once these cool completely, we're gonna move it to something that will fit inside your freezer. That's very important. So let's let these cool and then I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so we've let our chicken come completely to room temperature, and then put it on something that can fit in your freezer, and then have that lined with either parchment paper, wax paper, or in my case, I have this reusable baking, like silicone mat, so that once you have them in the freezer for 1 hour, you can pull the chicken off and throw it in a bag. This is called flash freezing. This is my favorite way to keep stuff in the freezer when you're not gonna when you're gonna want individual pieces. So it's like, I'm only gonna wanna be able to pull out 3 pieces of chicken. So if I put all the chicken in there, so I put all the chicken straight into the bag, they're gonna freeze together in a clump, and it's gonna be really hard to break apart and get how many I want. Or if I freeze them like this, and then put them in the bag, they're gonna already be frozen individually, and then I can pick out exactly how many I want. So this is gonna go for 1 hour in the freezer, basically just enough to get that outer layer really frozen so they won't stick together. Set your alarm because you're gonna forget, and then the next day you'll realize it's still in the freezer. And then this is just to show you why you need that paper towel. Normally I'd say never throw away the chicken juices, but in this case we don't want crystallized chicken juices in our bags, you know? So make sure they dry on a paper towel, or make sure they come to room temperature on the paper towel, and then move them over to whatever you're going to put them in the freezer on. Okay, these just came out of the freezer. You will see they are frozen. So I have 2 different quart-sized bags for my different flavors, and then I'll put those bags into a larger bag so I have all my chicken together. First, we're gonna do my lemon pepper. Get as much of the air out as you can. Like I said, now this won't stick together, and you can pull out exactly how many pieces you want. I'm gonna leave 2, I'm gonna leave these 2 out so I can eat these now. That way I can show you how to warm them up in the air fryer. you can have this entire thing full of these, all different flavors, for half the price you would buy one of those bags for. And the actual hands-on time took, what, 10 minutes? So this is gonna go in my freezer. And now we're gonna throw these in the air fryer. I like to cook mine until they are just warmed. If you cook these a really long time, they get dried out. And I find that's true with the homemade ones as well as the Tyson. So I'm throwing them in my air fryer. I'm gonna do 360 for 5 minutes. I'm just gonna cut it on here since this is already dirty. All right, and then I'm going to add it to my salad, but I'm gonna weigh out my chicken because I need to know how much it is. All right, got it to ounces. So it's just over 2 ounces. This is gonna be a snack. Let's see how it turned out. That's a better picture. It's delicious. And honestly, it has just the right amount of heat, because normally I find the regular ones a little too spicy for me. Gonna eat it now with my little makeshift coleslaw here. Definitely make those yourself, especially if it's something you buy regularly. You can save so much money by doing it in your own home, and you control the exact ingredients and the exact flavors, how much salt, how much oil, all the things. If you stuck around till this part, thank you so much. Your support means the world to me. That is gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked any of these recipes. Let me know if you're gonna try them below. We've got goals, we gotta get it, so let's go get it. I'll see you next time.